Hi guys, welcome to this video where we're just going to introduce what's new in Etherpad 1.5.0. So you might not be familiar with Etherpad. Etherpad is a collaborative editor, which means that you can work together on a document. So say for example there's two people in a meeting. I'm typing on the right hand side here, and as I'm typing you'll see that the document on the left hand side is updated, and vice versa. As you can see, as I type on the left hand side, the document on the right hand side is updated. So the idea is that you'd use it for meetings and for interviews and for other things where you want to collaborate. Now, Etherpad has a lot of advantages over other editors. The main advantage of Etherpad is that it's open source, so you've got complete document freedom. You can take your pads wherever you want. You can host your own Etherpad server. You can host your own Etherpad server in, say for example, a rural village where they don't have any internet connectivity, but they are able to access a local area network, so you can just access Etherpad over the local area network. And the same applies for schools. Now, the other advantage that Etherpad has is that it's completely extendable with plugins, and what that means is that all of these additional things that you're seeing on the right hand side, such as being able to align text, they're actually not available in the core of Etherpad. They're plugins that you install, and they're really easy to install. So I feel like the first thing we should do is maybe go ahead and just install some plugins. So yeah, so I've not set my password yet. So here's the first thing that we'll do is set our password so we can access the plugin page. So I'm going to stop Etherpad running. I'm going to go into the settings file, and I'm going to search for the admin section. So as we scroll down to here, we'll see we've got a user section here, and the default username and password is admin, and then the password is change-me1. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is restart Etherpad, but actually what I'll do is let's change password to hello. Now obviously you're going to run a more secure password, but just for the sake of this example we'll change it to hello. There we go, and we can log in. So as you can see, once we get into the plugins page, we have all of our install plugins, and then we have all of the available plugins. So I'm going to find a plugin that installs some additional functionality. There we go, comments page, and I've just hit install on that, and that's going to install the Etherpad plugin on our Etherpad instance. Now you can see that when I've reloaded the pad, I have the ability to add a new comment to a section. So if I select this contents here, I can add a comment, and if I hover over it, it shows me which comment, and vice versa. And I can also do replying to comments and these kinds of bits of functionality. So that's basically how the plugin system works. It's really easy to install a plugin, and settings are usually handled through the settings JSON file, which is where we change the password. Now Etherpad 1.5 has introduced several new bits of functionality that's meant that plugins can be extended. So the first one is some additional functionality so that we can allow for curl posts to a pad. So let's scroll down here to post data. I'm going to install this plugin. Okay, so this plugin is now installed. So I've just brought up a new terminal, and what I'm going to do is create a blank text file. So this in our instance might be a log file or just any file, but I'm going to just do a blank file for now. So let's do hello.txt, and I'm going to paste in this command. Now this is just a simple curl post command. You'll be familiar with it if you use curl much, and all I'm going to do is just put in the IP, port, and put in post. Now I'm going to post that off, and what that's done is it's replied with a pad ID and a URL. So if I open this, if I take this URL, place it in my web browser, you'll see here that the contents of that file have then gone up to a pad. So that's just a really easy way of posting data up to a pad. Now what else is new in 1.5? Well, we've done a lot in the way of page load performance. So that was about optimizing which files do and don't load when you access a pad. We also have a functionality to switch between pads, so that makes switching much faster if you're going from one pad to another. We have full pad exportability, so I can export this pad here. Okay, that, and then I can jump onto another Etherpad instance, can be anywhere, can be anything, and I can import this pad. Now, the significant thing about this versus other let's do that, import this, okay. Now the significant thing about the way that Etherpad handles this versus other editors, especially online ones, is that with Etherpad you get the full document revision. So here, because we've only passed one version, we only have this contents of hello world. But if we had previous edits to this document, all of that history would be there, and you'd be able to go backwards and forwards in time and be able to maintain author state, so the colour of the author and slight parts of the author information. Also in 1.5, we've introduced high-res icons across the board. So as I zoom into here, if you're running a high DPI screen, if you're on a projector, or if you're on a 4K monitor, you'll be able to zoom in and still keep this really beautiful interface, really sleek icons without any distortion. And that was a move away from images, which also gave us a performance increase. So it was a big win across the board. Now we have various new bug tests and fixes. One of the big significant things that we introduced is back-end tests. So we can now run back-end tests across the board, and we've still got the ability to do front-end tests, which we've extended. So if I jump onto the Etherpad URL and just hit the URL test front end, this will run through and test every single piece of functionality that, or the majority of the functionality that exists, including plugins, which can also expose tests to run through the front end. As you can see there, this alignments of text, which is actually a plugin. All of these will run through the test framework. Now the other thing that we've introduced is this support for instant sharding. Now this is, if you want to have many pads across many servers, this is easily doable now. And Etherpad is extremely well optimized for editing. Pad stability falls off at 100 plus editors, so it's very stable. When we compare that to commercial offerings from the likes of the other big players, we're about a factor of 10 more performant than them. And the reason that we're able to do this is because we dedicate, your system will dedicate resources to Etherpad. We don't have to depend on a third party or a commercial entity caring enough about your document for it to be important enough so that many people can collaborate on it. You provide the resources, you decide how well Etherpad will perform based on the resources you provide it. And then finally, we've introduced much better language support and documentation. Now, we already had fantastic language support. We're pretty much fully covered throughout the board, full right to left, all the Arabic, all of the encoding and everything is fully done. But we've just introduced some new strings and supported a few more languages, which is great. So there's a bunch of really cool stuff that you can do now. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's mostly a release to get things more performant and stable. We have a lot of commercial partners now that are using Etherpad in various organizations, and we're very lucky to have the support from them. We'd like for more people to be involved in the project, and we'd like for companies and organizations to support the project continually, and we're very grateful for that. And we're looking forward to getting 1.6 out. Now, what you can expect to see in 1.6 is a few more features landing. We probably have about 150 feature requests open and probably only about 20 bugs. Most of our bugs are upstream, so they're actually browser bugs. And we'll wait to see where they land. We'd also like to improve the require kernel, which is what we use to load files from plugins. And by doing that, we should be able to improve page load performance even more. But this is quite a long video. I just thought that it'd be kind of worth showing you how things are put together, how things work, what's new, and kind of give you a bit of an idea about where Etherpad's going. And yeah, so thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye bye.